Audio Jungle.
Still on the issue, talking about the talks on the fuel hike and electricity hike. Of course, the NLC has dropped battle line with the federal government. Of course, it's another edition of Vice in the Southeast Times on 50V. Right here in Ogba, we have the Daily Sun and the Vanguard newspaper with these stories. Quickly, let's check out the stories that we have on the front pages of these journals. Again, police about power, fuel price hikes, protests in Lagos. Again, police about power, fuel price hikes, protests in Lagos. Arrest, detain 35 NLC, gives federal government 14 days to reverse increase. Arrest, detain 35 as NLC gives federal government 14 days to reverse increase. On to the next one. TUC ultimatum misplaced, says Ngige. TUC, that's the Trade Union Congress ultimatum, misplaced, says Ngige. Masop renews vow to Biafra struggle. Masop renews vow to Biafra struggle. Incessant killings of Igbo will break Nigeria, says IPOB, that's the indigenous people of Biafra. Incessant killings of Igbo will break Nigeria. Stop provoking us, Ohaneze warns army. 5 injured as APC-PDP supporters clash in Ondo State. 5 persons injured as APC-PDP supporters clash in Ondo State. Economy will recover in early 2021, says the federal government of Nigeria, to create crime proceeds recovery agency. To create crime proceeds recovery agency. Fuel price, NNPC steps up efforts to revamp refineries. Port Harcourt refinery ready come 2023. On to the next one. The Vanguard newspaper, the major headline is reading fuel electricity. NLC draws battle line with federal government. NLC draws battle line with FG. Issues 11-day ultimatum. Gives government till September 28 to reverse hikes. Says cost of electricity more than minimum wage in some places. NLC's CWC resolved to issue ultimatum, says WABBA. Lagos police arrest, release 50 protesters, including Vanguard's photojournalists. TUC ultimatum misplaced, says Ngige. Quickly to the down part of the paper, we have something on Edo State. 3 policemen to man each of 2,627 polling booths. Wow. 3 policemen to man each of 2,627 polling booths. Police to withdraw other lists from VIPs. Interagency committee control room set up. Interagency committee control room set up. Okay, let's quickly join our reviewers for more analysis on these stories. I'll be right back.
I think it's of paramount importance, pertinent and genuine, that NLC, TUC and all the labor organizations in this country rise up and fight this cause. But again, I think all the respective unions should brace up for the worst, because we are operating in a society where rule of law have been jettisoned, where extrajudicial killing, violation of human rights have become a norm. On this basis, I now call on all the world international bodies like the UN, the European Union, American government, British government, name it, to be on the red alert, so that they could record and observe every area of human right violation. Because the way it is, I don't know what we expect from a government and a police, an army, navy, DSS, that the president had given a marching order to his ministers to go on the offensive against his citizens in areas, according to him, where statements are politically motivated that may tend to bring about falsehood. But what I'm saying is, going by the history of Nigerian security agencies as an agencies of that have the history of human rights violation, that's why I'm calling on all the bodies, NSA, TUC, and every other body to brace up for the worst.
Okay. Now we have a situation in Edo State, before we move down to Ondo State. We have 3 policemen, manning just one polling booth out of 2,000. We have 3 policemen to man a polling booth, and we have about 2,627 polling booths. Yeah, am I right? 627 polling booths. Yeah, 2,627 polling booths in Edo State. Now, the question I want to ask is, can't we have a situation whereby we run election without security operatives guiding the citizens? Can't we have a situation whereby Nigerians or the electorate go to the polling booth, vote without having fears or without having any fears or doubt?
The problem, Mr. Mark, is this: our politicians hardly play by the rule. A situation where our politicians, they are always ready to circumvent the rule. But again, the presence of police will not even mitigate the crisis, because by my understanding and by the position of the law, the policeman is not entitled to bear gun at the polling booth. Even if we are seeing instances, even where policemen who are armed, there are some political thugs who come and override them and still perpetrate crime. That is why the onus lies on the police high command to do the needful. The security of the country is under their purview. So if before now they should have known the flashpoints, they should have known what they need to do to mitigate the crisis. Posting 3 policemen to a polling unit, a polling booth, is not the solution. The solution is do enough intelligence gathering, deploy technology to gather enough information. And again, another critical area is there are some extant laws that regulate this election, our election, that need to be amended. Let me tell you this: the burden of proof in an election lies on the candidate who loses an election if he goes to court. If you now amend that law and put the burden of proof on INEC, I think going forward, if the burden of proof is on INEC, INEC will do the needful, because they know that when there is a litigation, the burden of proof will be on them to prove that actually this election was credible. It met substantially with the other stamp laws. But especially where you put the burden of proof on the candidate who have lost the election, there is little or nothing he could do. So I am advocating that let those extant laws be amended in such a way that the burden of proof be put on INEC rather on the candidate.
Now let's move down to Ondo State, where both APC and PDP supporters are clashing each other just because of election. Now, of course, in that state, last week we heard that card readers were burnt down. This time around, clash. Now, what does this imply? So what does it tell us as Nigerians in terms of election?
The implication is we are likely going to see an election that is going to be marred with violence. It's an indication that, because if you start seeing build up to election like this, you start seeing activities like this, it tells you that there is a likelihood of violence. Now, it is still the onus still lie on police. Why I'm particularly mentioning police is that they are the ones that have the mandate to protect lives and property, and we cannot accept any excuse for failure in this regard. And I listened to what Jagada, his press statement after that incident, to the extent that the coverall of the governor of the state was passing by. and when that mayhem was perpetrated. So what does that tell you? If a governor was passing by, it means the commissioner of police, or even the commissioner of police is not there, but a reasonable number of police senior officers would have been in that scene. So if such crime could happen under the watchful eye of the police, what can you tell when they are not there, for instance? So what I'm saying is, now that it has happened, I call on the commissioner of police in that state, the area commander in that jurisdiction, the IG of police, to do a thorough investigation to unravel the mystery behind that mayhem and bring the perpetrators to justice. Thank you very much.
The issue of political parties clashing has always been norms in this country. So to me, I see that as no news until when electoral laws have been signed, have been put into place to like until when a politician sees his election as no do or die, such things will continue to occur. Because if you're a leader of a political party, you see this your aspiration as a do or die. So that means you will surely go out to just cause violence. So my take on this is that every politician aspiring for elective office should see this office as it shouldn't be a do or die affair. Otherwise, if you see this office as a do or die affair, such things will continue to it will continue to occur. The less you see this office of this office, and the better for the masses. Because if such things continue to happen, it shows that every politician sees this office as a do or die. So they should just get off that. They should just get off that belief,
that mentality
of them. That is because I see, if you want to go for just a local government chairman, you will kind of tell your supporters just to go out there and do whatsoever it takes for you just to get into the office.
Now, David, we have the president unveiling the logo of the 60th anniversary of Nigeria. What is your take on this? What do you have to say? Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it nice? 60 years.
Okay. Mr. Mike Adekunle, did you listen to the president after the what's it called Economic Council? The amount he used in designing this thing. To me it was just laughable. Fine, it's a very good portrait, but I think there is not, because an average Nigerian shouldn't be happy about it, because 60 years anniversary, how far with Nigeria? That should be the main topic. How far with Nigeria? How are the ordinary Nigerians doing well? This is 60 years anniversary. A 60 years old man who cannot feed himself. A 60 years old man that has no job. A 60 years old man that cannot rent a one-room apartment. Then is that what we should be celebrating about? What should we be celebrating about? In 60 years when there is high rate of unemployment, 60 years when there is insecurity in the land, 60 years where the youth don't have sense of belonging, go to every nooks and crannies of the streets. You will see that Nigerians are suffering. So what should we celebrate? 60 years under hardship, 60 years whereby you cannot afford to eat
3 square meals, right?
3 square meals a day. So what should we celebrate? 60 years, still the same old story. There has not been change. It's so glaring. As yesterday I listened to the president, he said he still need more money. He still need more loans for him to fix infrastructure, for him to fix our roads, 60 years where there is no good healthcare system, 60 years where there is no good education. Is that what we should celebrate? A man that does not have clear cut vision at 60 years, is dead.
President of Nigeria, as a pressman, you should have done your best to get to the president and ask him such question: how has Nigeria fared so far? Of course, he has been within the corridor of power for over as old as Nigeria. So he was once a military head of state, I think around 82, 83 or thereabout. And after 35 or 36 years, he came back to still assume the position of presidency. So for me, this is a 60 years of justice denied, a 60 years of justice delayed, a 60 years of impunity, a 60 years of misgovernance and all manner of atrocities and inhuman actions meted on the masses of this contraction called Nigeria. A 60 years of unaddressed level of poverty. Nigeria is more poverty stricken even at these 60 years. A 60 years without a roadmap where we are actually going as a people. A 60 years of wandering in wilderness without any sense of direction, without any sense of commitment to nationhood or nation building. So it is not a surprise that we get at this point, because we have clearly no direction, we have no objective set out as an entity, as a nation which we intend to uphold or achieve. So it is not a surprise. Of course, you can hear that even the so-called president is still making plans on how to go and borrow in order to sponsor his so-called projects. You see, a 60 years of zoological republic where there is no state of rule of law, is not respected, fundamental human rights are not respected, and the state of anarchy becomes the order of the day, has become a norm. You can see the level of killings across board. So what, of course, do you have to show for it? Are we really a nation? And I think the greatest mistake done ever in history in the human life is Nigeria becoming a republic. That is the greatest mistake I have seen ever.
Now, Chigozie, away from that, let's travel to Edo State, where the election is about to take place. September 19 is very, very close. I think we have about how many days to go now? Okay, security, to be sincere with you, have been put in place by the Inspector General of Police. We have over 30,000 police personnel being deployed to that state. But what do I have here? 3 policemen to man each of 2,627 polling booths. Now, don't you think this is a very good step by the Inspector General of Police?
Thank you, Mr. Mike. You see, this nation is a sick nation. And the best thing that should have been done to this nation is to bring a lively and a healthy individual to man the presidency, the leadership position of this country, in order to revamp, to resuscitate this sick nation, which almost is suffering from, multiple internal organ failure. So for me, this is a sick nation with a sick president, with a sick government. So I don't see any sense in that. Why? Because they have mobilized those policemen and they have given them instruction on what to do to make sure that they rig the election in favor of APC. That is the instruction, and that is what they are there to carry out.
How sure are you?
Let me tell you.
How did you know?
Of course, the realities are playing out. Now, let me tell you, Mr. Mike, why Nigeria is a sick nation. Look at the massacre in southern Kaduna.
the IG, the so-called IG of police, I mean, who should have no reason to be in police force, let alone manning that police office. You see, he could only, I mean, mobilize 300 policemen to Kaduna, southern Kaduna, to arrest the level of atrocity crime carried out against humanity, where genocide has been sponsored even by the state. 300 was sent, policemen. And look at just a mayor election, governorship election, you are mobilizing 30,000 policemen. To do what? For what? Are they declaring war? Indirectly, of course, they have declared war against those citizens.
It's just meant to protect the electorates and secure their votes.
I tell you, I can bet you, Mike. It seems you have not experienced electoral seasons in Nigeria. I tell you, these people has been, before they were mobilized, they have been given an instruction on what to do. Immediately they get to the scene, and let me tell you, if you dare to cover the scene, the polling unit with your camera, they will going to gun you down. Why? Because they wouldn't want their level of crime and atrocity to be made known to the world. So these people are there to carry out the biddings of their paymaster, which is to kill, to steal, to make sure that everything within their reach, within the forces of the federal government or might, and the IG himself, of course, should be in the favor of APC. That is nothing, and you should hold them responsible. Of course, we are more expecting the level of atrocity that have never been revealed, right, of course, in this state.
The Edo State election is just around the corner. Really? I won't say a few weeks to go again, a few days to go. Just a few hours to go. Saturday, September 19th. Election in Edo State. How do you think this will work well? 3 policemen to man each of the 2,627 polling booths. And do you think these policemen will be working in favor of one of the 2 political gladiators in that state?
Thank you very much, Mike. I think the people that G3 now about policemen working for using federal might for the opposition, I mean the opposition party in the Edo, really, that is what they've been used for, used to, right? And I could hear them all over the TV stations saying they are fear of rigging. I was even watching one this morning that they have to fabricate different stories on social media that the opposition, which is the APC in Edo, that they are colliding with the, what's it called, to start buying votes, PVC, with the, what's it called, the palliative empowerment program they're doing, man. But you see, what I noticed about the parties, all these parties and their followers is, you see, they cook stories, fabricate stories that they intended doing. Let's assume I'm a party here now, like PDP now. Majority of the stories they cook, they are the culprits of those stories. But they will now turn it around that the opposition is trying to do this, is trying to do that. Let me now tell you, the federal might has always been in existence. Who brought in this federal might? We could remember 5 years ago or 6 years ago when there was a Osun election. We remember the hoodmen that manifested from nowhere. The hoodmen, I think you remember the hoodmen, the security, the DSS, they call them DSS, but they were on wood, man. Wooded, you could now see their face. They flood them all around Osun State. And it happens in Ekiti too. So when it's the turn of the party in power now, you shouldn't be crying foul, man. You shouldn't be crying foul of anything. Because it's what the party that ruled us for 19 years brought into the system. Federal might. Winners take all. We could remember all the election used to be PDP, no contestant again. So I pity their sympathizer. I pity their sympathizer. Lagos, you are saying is the only state that has been consistent on party affiliation. Talk of Tinubu, that is the leader of Lagos today. He has never crossed carpet like all these adultery politicians, you know, prostitute politicians. Move to PDP, move to APC today. So what I just see about Edo election, there's G3 in the camp of the ruling party now. That's the PDP. They are G3. They are very G3 because all their plan work, all their game plan has been unraveled and overtaken by the APC people there. And we give it to the guy, the Ezeyamo, the APC candidate. He's been so calm and, you know, a man of peace, because I've not seen any violence coming from their side. It's only the party, the people that say they have impunity, they have immunity, that they can do and undo. It's only them. I could remember when Obaseki was on here saying he's the only one that has immunity. Anybody that comes to Edo, he has the power to wither them down. But let's wait and see. Calm down. 2 days to go. We wait and see who is the winner.
There's nothing new because Nigeria, we have no system of electoral. Because what we have is the party in power. Because when you see the people in power, they are desperate. And what I want to let Nigeria know that our government, the people contesting for a post, even both the PDP and the APC, they are not going there for your interest. They are going there for their own interest. But when we want to talk about the people that still have what they will do, see, Oshomola is just fighting for his own personal interest. That is why he's pushing. Because if we want to say the truth, Ezeyamo have not said anything. Only see from 2 months, 3 months, only voice we are hearing is Oshomola. Is Oshomola going for a third time in governorship? Why is he the one speaking? Why is Ezeyamo? He's not speaking. That is why people are against him. That is why people are against Ezeyamo. Because he wants to fall down and allow Oshomola to climb on top him. And when he becomes, by mistake, he win Edo State, Oshomola is the governor of Edo State, not Ezeyamo. So that is why the people are against him. If a contestant come, I said it before, I follow, even though Jagaban of Lagos say election is a popularity contest, let the popular person win. Let them leave the election to be a popularity contest. The more popularity person, let it do what? Win the election. Not by dragging, killing innocent people. Not by carrying 3,000 police armament to there. Why Kaduna State is on fire? Why Borno State have not have peace? Why the people in the north have not have peace? And all the security they pass them to Edo State because they want to oppress the citizens, because they want to oppress the electorate so that they will not vote. Oh, I don't see anything good because I want those peace. The same people that rule Nigeria before that never give anything. Abu Salami, that is still the peace committee. Is the same peace committee in 2019. What do we see? We see crisis everywhere. He went to Edo State, he went to Ekiti State. He go there, he went to Oshu State for peace. The same evil happened. He went to Kogi State, evil happened. Kano State, evil happened. Then what is their peace committee? I don't put my trust in them. Only what I put my trust. If INEC want their name to change, let them do free and fair election. Let the popular person win. You understand? I want to talk about President Buhari want to and secretary to the government. They are planning to form another ministerial arm that will monitor the recovery route. What about the one? Me said that statement for Nigeria as a nation, they want to recover since they have eat the money. That is why they want to, because there is no account for it. Because there is account for it, they will never come out to tell us that they want to form a new ministry that will be monitor the recovery route. The old one that they recover, what is it? Who will give the account to us? That is what I want to ask. Let every Nigeria is 60 years, nothing like 60 years in Nigeria. Is it of hungry? Is it of killing, nepotism, evil of the present government? Hungry day Nigeria, no 60 years. What we are fighting, let us divide Nigeria. Right. Peace and peaceful.
If those people's decision is going to come to play just less than 72 hours. So thank you, Michael. The issue I have there is because Obaseki is the right man these guys want. The Benis, the Asians, even the Awuchi where from the Odos where Oshomole comes from, hails from. They need everybody there needed Obaseki, but are they going to allow Edos their own verdict, their decision to count? No. Let me tell you, give it to immigration, custom, navy. Even the navy, they were displaying their versatility, how to handle arms some 4 days ago with Nigerian army, soldiers and police. Let me tell you, the navy, they are trying to tell the indigenes that they are the one in control. My brother, is a shame. It's a dance of shame. Navy, they are trying to show us their martial versatilities, how they could handle arms, how they could curtail crimes, how they could condone arms and other things, while in electoral period against civilians, unarmed men, children, women. What is happening in Sambisa Forest? Police is going to go and show the Benis and the Edos that they are the one in control. Nigerian soldiers are there to mow down civilians with bullets. What is going on in northeast Borno State? Almost the whole local government in Borno State under control of insurgents, terrorists. They are trying there in Edo State to show those people that they are the one in control. Let me tell you, Adam Ochomole's alternative, do you know that he has alternatives? It is so glaring that this guy, Obaseki, is the man they wanted in Edo State, even the Obas. Yeah, they want him. Ochomole is the man they want there. Let me tell you, Adam Ochomole's alternative, we know.
What is alternative?
Devil's alternative. Could you allow me to give you some reasons?
Okay, reasons.
If I'm a desperate man, if you want to kill me, I have another alternative. It's either I beg you or make peace with you so that you won't kill me. Isn't that right? But in an electionary, issue, if your opponent find out that you are having upper hands, try to understand, over him in Nigerian politics, the devil alternative will play out. What do you call it? Bloody alternative. They are going to use thugs, they are going to use the police, they are going to use the soldier, they are going to use the military, both paramilitary in Nigeria, to torment the right opponents. The people's, choice, mandate. To understand, that is the devil alternative I'm talking about. Ochomole's alternative is devil's alternative in Edo States. The devil alternative. So, Michael, let me tell you, the cloud is gathering, but it's so obvious that Izeyamu is not the people they want over there. Even Oba Benin don't want him. Yes, I'm telling you, because Oba Benin was made to understand initially that Izeyamu was an armed robber.
All right, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what plays out in that state. Thank you so much, Raphael. And yeah, we say goodbye to you on today's edition of this program. Join us next time on the same platform. I remain Michael Adekule. Behind the camera, Festus Oluwabukom. You can subscribe to our sister channel, 50 Plus. You can also join me on Facebook, Michael Tim Tayo. Adekule on Instagram, Adekule Michael Tim Tayo. Have a good day, everyone.